Player 1. Time. Player 2. Level 1.
Good evening, everyone. It is Monday. It is 2 weeks since the last episode, so that means it is time for the Total Evercade Podcast. I hope everybody is doing well. There's lots of people in the chat already, which is really, really great to see. So before we run through the chat and see who we have in the house, let's run through and see who we have with us this evening, which is, funny enough, the same people that have been here for the last 21 episodes. So Mr. Blunners has just gifted a membership there, so please do click on that and get a 3 months subscription to us. What more could you want? So yeah, let's welcome Mr. Blunners. How are you doing, good sir?
Yeah, really good. Glad the Duke's come out. So that's what we'll be talking about later.
And
obviously, I don't know who's just won my gift. Has anyone? Oh, it is Nick C. So Nick C, hope you enjoy our membership for the month.
Happy days. We've got Mr. Ryan.
Hello, everyone. I'm not wearing a cricket jumper this evening. You'll be glad to know. So I'm never going to wear that jumper ever again after I got criticised for that. But
Cave to peer pressure.
Oh no, I'm all good though. I am all good. Glad to be here.
Of course. Where else would you want to be?
Exactly.
Nowhere is the answer. And then, of course, our guest of always honour, Mr. Derek. How are you doing, good sir?
It's Monday night. It's got to be Total Evercade Podcast. It's absolutely amazing to be here. And excited as always.
Excellent. We've got a big amount of stuff to talk about. So, yeah, let's go through the chat and see who we have there. We've got Mr. Alex, the Sega Guru. Good evening, good sir. Mr. Andy Davidson. I hope you are good. I'm going to have to ask you to pronounce your name for me because I'm every week I'm going to go with Rosca. Rosca, it is wonderful to see you. Welcome. Mr. Kieran Fletcher, good to see you. I hope you're well. Mr. Taylor, the man, the legend. Hastings Program History, good evening to you as well. Dan Nastic, wonderful as always to see you. Mr. Nick C with your new membership. Retro Dean 66, good evening, sir. We've got Mr. Skipkins, always wonderful to see you in the chat there. I hope you are doing good. Toxo, evening. I hope you are good. Ziggy, wonderful to see you as well. Wow, there is loads of people here. Mr. Nick Tyrell, how are you, good sir? I hope you are keeping really, really well. Oh, Lamney Pie. Oh, the names keep rolling in. This is great. Mr. Foster, I hope you are good. Wonderful to see you in here as always.
Good luck with this one.
Oh, Lloyd. I'm going to go with Lloyd. Good evening, Lloyd. Wonderful to see you. And Mr. Lister. Right.
Can we just go back to Nick? I thought it was Nick Tyrrell. Not Tyrell, but it might be Tyrell. He's got a really good YouTube channel. Do check out. He does loads of Evercade reviews on there.
Yes.
And he's working his way through the cartridges at the moment. And I believe the next review he's going to be doing is in Television 2. So
stay tuned, Ryan. Amazing. Mr. Aussie Worlds, great to see you as well. And the Sternhammer. Oh, God, what a packed group of people. Okay, let's get cracking because we have got a huge amount to talk about. So, first topic, as always, what have you been playing and any latest news? So, I think I started with Blunners last week. So, Mr. Derek, how are you, good sir? And what have you been playing?
Well, first thing I just want to touch on to everybody in the comment section is don't forget this January is the last month of production on the Atari cartridges. So if you are looking for them, whether it's Lynx Arcade or, of course, Home Computer, do get on there and order those collections. As I say, it's just like a sort of a final warning before we approach January. I'd hate anyone to miss out. So, just in case stocks do go down, it'll give you a chance to buy in there. As for playing things this month, it's been astronomical. We've got, of course, the Atomic versus console.
There it is. It's there.
Yeah, it's absolutely fantastic. It's a real console for the adults. That Duke Nukem UI is fantastic, and I'm really enjoying it. It gives sort of almost a dark essence to Duke Nukem. So yeah, it's really, really fantastic to see that in action. Obviously, the 2 Duke Nukem collections I've been given a good blast into. I don't want to touch on them too much because I appreciate people have had a lot of cartridges this month, and the last thing you want is too many spoilers. But obviously, I've been playing those remasters. I think they're absolutely top notch. There's so much to find in every level. You've got to set off the rockets. You've got to spell the word Duke. Don't forget, of course, spell the right order. You'll get a bonus. There's loads of other great pickups in those levels. So, you'll have fun hunting for them. I certainly am. So, I'm going back over and back over because I'm just desperate to find it all. I'm a real collector maniac. So, I'm having a brilliant time with those Duke Nukem remasters. Obviously, I've touched on Demons of Asborg. Once again, having a fantastic time. There's so much to enjoy in this game. My favorite boss is, of course, the Skellington. I just think he's fantastic. There's a wonderful sunset piece as well, where the sun goes down before you face a dragon. And obviously, don't forget, you'll be able to play other characters in the game as well as morph yourself into a gargoyle. So there's lots to look forward to there. But obviously, I don't want to give too much away. I want you to get in there and get involved. And obviously, finally, I've been enjoying a nice bit of that Witch and Whiz. And fantastic little puzzle game. Every 10 levels, it changes it up slightly. For myself, it actually worked into my sort of my linear way of thinking. So unfortunately, I either cracked the puzzle or I fluked it. So I was able actually to have a very, very, very quick run through of all 100 levels. But I'm certainly getting back there and get those times down. I want to come in under 30 minutes, and I think I can do it. So fantastic time this week.
If anyone can do it, Derek, it's you. I think you'd have to let us know. We'll do it live. See if you can do it live and show some people how it's done. We'd be well into that.
Yeah.
Mr. Ryan, what have you been playing, good sir?
Okay, well, I haven't got the new cartridges yet. I'm still waiting for Christmas for the Duke Nukem collections, and the other 2 new cartridges I haven't ordered yet. But I will do in due course. But again, I've taken inspiration from Obsolete World, who's in the chat tonight in the Evercade Hangout. He was saying that he was playing Jalico Collection 1 and Super Goal 2. So I thought, right, I'll give this game another chance because I don't think I'd played it for about a year. And still as frustrating and difficult as I remember the last time I played it. But it's not a bad football game. It's like a top-down. Well, it's not top. It's kind of like isometric, sort of up and down. It's a weird sort of angle. And when the ball goes up in the air, the ball gets bigger, then comes back down again. There's probably about 20 international teams you can get. They're not fully licensed, but you can do a cup on there, or you can do an exhibition, or you can do penalty kicks. But yeah, just before I came on, I thought I'll be. Who was I? I was Sweden, played Latvia, who are the worst team on the game, and I managed to lose 3-2. So the game does cheat at times, I feel, because the amount of times I'm through on goal and then I get fouled, and it's like, surely that should be like a penalty or something, and the ref just plays on. I don't think I've seen a foul on that game. It's ridiculous. But yeah, if you've not got that cartridge and you enjoy sort of 90s SNES football games, then do pick up Jalico Collection 1 because it's not a bad game. And it's definitely one that I'll play with my friends over Christmas. And I think they'll have more of a chance beating me on that than they do at Sensible Soccer, certainly.
Yeah. Excellent. I will hopefully have more of a chance. So at some point over Christmas, I'm gonna beat you 2-3 or whatever it is that Tim gets the word around. I will.
It won't be 2. Ollie. He won't get you. You'll be lucky to get 1.
Oh well, it's gonna happen this time. This Christmas, That's what I want for Christmas. I want to beat Ryan at a football game.
It's not happening. Might happen on this one actually, to be fair, because it just cheats. It's just really frustrating. So yeah, maybe we'll have a go at Christmas.
Yep,
and,
I'm into
see
that.
if you can beat me.
And Mr. Blunners, what have you been playing?
Well, we're going to talk about it later, really, but I picked up Duke Nukem, first one, and then I realised I'd forgotten to pre-order the second one. So I was there wondering, like, what the hell is it? So quickly went on, bought the second one straight away as well. So I've basically had a quick go on all of them, really, because I vaguely remember playing the ones that came out on the old PlayStation, but I didn't think I gave them enough time. So I've had a quick playthrough on them all, and and I'll speak about them later, but quite good. And I'm going to pick up the other games that just come out because there's such a lot to drop in one hit. So do you know what I mean? It's just like you saying earlier. I won't spoil yours, but I'm just saying I'm gonna try and get one every payday. I'll just buy another one on every payday, and hopefully by then I'll have made my way through these guns I've just picked up. So yeah, just enjoying Duke Nukem at the minute.
Excellent. So this month has been a real Evercade month for me, as I sort of said before I came on, or before we came live. I don't think I've ever bought this many carts in one go for a really long time. So I've been playing a little bit of Full Void. Thank you again to Ryan for getting hold of the special one for me, because I was bitterly gutted when Amazon sort of ruined that bonfire quite late in the day. Of course, we're going to talk about them later. Got Duke Nukem Collection 1, Duke Nukem Collection 2. Been enjoying those quite a lot. But the one I've been enjoying the most has got to be the Demons of Asterberg and Asterbros double pack. That Demons of Asterberg is so good. It's pretty much everything I'd hoped it would be from the trailer that we got. I know you spoke really highly about it, Blunners, but I've really been playing a tremendous amount of that. I love the art style, love the graphics. The controls are really, really slick. And it's hard, and I like that. It's sort of like a side-scrolling Demon Souls for me. There's enough challenge there to kind of not make it easy, but it's not so challenging that you just want to throw the cart through the window. So yeah, I just can't wait to just continue with it. If I'm totally honest, it's really good, and Asterbros again is really good fun. I like some of the extra mechanics they've got in that, so being able to like double jump and that kind of thing. It's really, really nice. So I'm looking forward to diving into that, but trying not to flip between too many of them, and just really give Demons of Asterberg the care that it so desires, because it's bloody brilliant. So if anybody hasn't picked up that cart, I just highly recommend that you do. And before we dive into our first topic or any latest news, I do need to give someone a shout out. So Mr. Wayne Brown from the Evercade Hangout, he does tune in sometimes. I just need to thank him very, very much, because he was selling a sealed EXP in the Hangout with a couple of carts that I didn't have. He was offering a really good deal, and that is now on its way to me, because I've been saying all year I really want an EXP, and the deal was just too good to pass up on this one. So thank you so much, buddy. Can't wait for that to arrive. Okay, do we have some latest news before we dive into the next full topic?
The only thing that I've seen, I have just jumped on the Evercade Facebook website and just clicked on their blog section to see what's going on. And last week they did the best 5 party games, and this was to do with Thanksgiving in America. So the top 5 party games as recommended by Evercade are Summer, Winter, World, California games on the C64 Collection 1 and 2. That's 4 games there, but they've tagged that as just 1. So just take that as 1. And then you've got Micro Mages, which that's a 4-player game. So yeah, I get that. Sensible Soccer, so you can have tournaments with your friends. So again, I get that. Arcade Pool I
Yeah.
guess. Yeah, you could do like Killer Pool
That's
or
okay.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you've got Warlords, which I've never actually played before and didn't even realise this was on Evercade. It's on Atari Arcade 1 for anyone who's interested, but I've got no idea what that game even is, or what
Okay.
it's about. I don't know, Derek, if you
Yeah,
know.
take the castle. Yeah, get us 4 of you going on that. Yeah, it always makes me arc back to an old game I had as a child called Crossbows and Catapults. So yeah, you've got to try and take each other's castle effectively, and yeah, it's great fun. Yeah.
Excellent. So, first topic then, and also get involved in the chat as well with your thoughts on this kind of thing. So let's dive in because we've probably got a lot to talk about. The Duke Nukem Collection 1. So this is the cart that features the Duke Nukem 1 and 2 remaster, which at the moment I still believe is exclusive for Evercade. And then the Duke Nukem 3D, the Total Meltdown edition, which I believe is the PlayStation port. So let's start with you, Mr. Blunners. You've definitely been playing this one. I know you have. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, so I wasn't really too sure what to expect actually when I first played it, but yeah, I really enjoyed. I started playing Duke Nukem 1, loved it, but I forgot that you had to go around and like shoot all the cameras and stuff out. So that first one just completely. After I went in, I was like, well, hang on a minute, what am I doing? So yeah, and before I knew it, I'd lost an hour just literally just going around trying to find everything, trying to work my way through. But it's brilliant. And then I'm sure Derek can go into more detail, but like when you press the select button, it brings you back to how it used to be, cuts back in them lines. It cuts it from being 16.9 widescreen, so you see less of like the actual map in the game. So yeah, I just loved it. I thought it was brilliant, really good. I'm gonna probably play that one through to completion first. I haven't done it yet, but I will do. I also Duke Nukem 3D. I remember this one when it came out years ago. I was quite eager to see how it controlled, because obviously because we're so used to first person shooter games having them analog sticks.
Oh,
and
yes.
It does take it does take you a while to like, oh, hang on a minute. Oh, I've got like you proper like tank control trying to turn. So yeah, but once you work it out, it's pretty similar. Find the cards to open up the doors, like you were doing back on the original 1 and 2. So yeah, so I really enjoyed these games. And I will be going back and playing Duke Nukem 1 through to completion once we come off here. Pretty much, I'm just going to sit down and go and play through it. But yeah, really enjoyed these carts so far.
Yeah, excellent stuff. Ryan, you've not picked this one up yet? Well, you have, but it's not until Christmas.
Yeah, I've seen them in my house because they came from Amazon, so they are here. But yeah, I've got to wait till Christmas. Trying to be good. I've got so many games to play at the moment.
Yeah.
I'll just wait. But what I have seen, the reviews of especially the Duke 1 and 2 remasters look really nice. The soundtrack when you fire the games up just seems to be on point for the games. I like the select function that Blunners just mentioned when you change from the updated version to the original version. I think that's really good how they're doing that like seamlessly. So yeah, I am really looking forward to playing them. I'm also looking forward to not necessarily these ones, but is it Land of the Babes? Is that
Land of the Babes? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's on the next
I've never
cut.
played these games before, so yeah, they're all going to be new to me, and yeah, in the new year I'll be able to give my full review. But from what I've seen so far, so good.
Excellent stuff. Okay, I've been really looking forward to seeing what Derek made of this, because I know the first two Duke remasters you were particularly excited about. So, Derek, how do you rate it? Have you been enjoying it?
I have been enjoying it immensely. I mean, it's nice for us, the Evercade community, to have an exclusive for us for a change. And where better to start than some Duke Nukem remasters? To be honest, I didn't think I'd be able to recover the ground on these games again. I thought they were probably lost to the annals of time. And to get them not only back looking stunning and brilliant, but as you say, hit the select button and you get back into that DOS adventure. I certainly want to complete it in both modes, and I want to find absolutely everything. You know, there's little pink bunny rabbits that you've got to try and find and shoot. Don't forget to shoot those Acme signs that come from the ceilings as well. And obviously set off all the rockets, spell Duke. It's just a beautiful, beautiful platform game, the sort of thing I really enjoyed growing up. So for myself, yeah, I easily lose hours if I go on these games. So yeah, I have to be sparing in, making sure I reside myself a little bit to the clock. And then there's no angry wives then that I've been on their way too long. But yeah, fantastic for these remasters, and I think Blaze has done a stunning job, and they should be really, really proud of themselves. The minute I put it on, I knew straight away it was for me. So I'm hoping other people will take a chance to discover these. And as I say, I mean, you can see on the screen there, you spell in Duke, and it's quite simple there, but on some levels, you'll get them scattered about. So as I say, if you can find it, if it's the wrong letter, try and leave it and try and find the right one and try and get it in the maximum order for the best bonus. But yeah, there's so much hidden stuff. Sometimes I could go through a level and realize I've missed just one camera, and you can scour the whole thing again just to try and find it. It's fantastic fun. So yeah, the remasters for me are right on point. And to be honest, I think it's probably a crowning jewel for Blaze, and I think they should be really, really happy. I'd certainly like to see them do some different remasters in the future of other games based on this one. So yeah, fingers crossed we do see something different. Duke Nukem 3D. I've had a lot of fun on that. I own all the original versions on PlayStation, so I'm kind of more used to the controls than perhaps other people might be. Once these were announced, I got it out the loft, got back on Land of the Babes and Time to Kill, etc. So yeah, I'm a bit more sort of familiarized. For anybody wondering, as I say, sometimes it just takes a little bit of getting used to the controls. Blaze have done a lot of tinkering there to actually improve it. And I can say against my PlayStation version, it is considerably improved in frame rate and also in gameplay. If you want to go, for instance, into the infantry, what I always do when I play it is I go into menus and I like using the control option Doomed. And then you hit L2 and... got to remember the way round of the pad now. Have a look at my box here. I think it's A. Hit A, and you can select that item in your infantry. Then, remember, you can't use it. You've selected it. You hit L2 again, and this time I think it's X to use it. Yeah. So that just gives you a sort of a brief guide. If you select some of the other methods to control, you'll need to hold L and R when you hit those buttons, for instance. So yeah, sometimes it just takes a little bit of getting used to, because obviously I like to use the jetpacks and all sorts of crazy fun like Nukem's meant to be. But yeah, certainly there's a lot of fun to be had there.
Excellent. I have played a little bit of the first Duke Nukem remaster purely because I've never played them before. It looks like a great platformer. It controls really well, so I'm going to be looking forward to giving that a lot of time and then probably jumping straight into Duke 2 as well. But for me, the thing that was selling this was the 3D edition. That was, you know, Duke Nukem 3D was a huge game for us all, probably growing up, just losing countless hours after actually beating the game and completing it, collecting all the bits. Half the time, just running around, putting, you know, notes in the strippers' pants and just killing aliens. That was literally just ended up just doing that for hours and hours. It was such a good game. I agree with Blunners. We've all been spoilt with you know, dual analog controls for first person shooters and everything being this pinpoint accurate, super responsive type experience. So it did take a little bit of getting used to for me. I like to try and use the side steps on the shoulder buttons a little bit because I tend to find I aim a little bit better with that. But it's great. It's so good. I know there's some people that online have complained about it being the PlayStation port and all this kind of stuff. It's a great port. It's a really solid port. It looks great on a TV, and it controls well. Once you sort of get used to them, it doesn't take, you know, hours and hours to get used to. You know, you do tend to find if you've played a first-person shooter on a PlayStation original or an original Xbox or something before, you're going to come around to it very quickly. it's there's not a lot to complain about. If anything, really, if I'm honest, I think it's an absolutely solid cart. I am really pleased. Just looking at the cover, I'm so pleased that we got 1-2 remastered and Duke 3D on one cart. I was really sort of concerned that they would maybe split it out or whatever, but that just is a perfect collection. It really, really is. And I think everyone in the chat's been saying they've been enjoying the remasters as well. How has people in the chat, how have you found the Duke Nukem 3D controls? Are you getting used to it quickly, or are you sort of just over it?
Very.
Yeah, excellent stuff. Yep, Duke Nukem games are great. Yep, everyone seems to be really enjoying it. So, yeah, I think I agree with you, Derek. I think Blaze have hit a home run with this one. They've had a few good carts this year. This one seems to be up there as potentially one of the best. When people have to do their top 5 carts moving forward, I think we're going to see the Duke collection one in it a lot more. So, absolutely stonking cart. Okay, moving.
Which is disappointing for fans of Intellivision 2, because that will be pushed down to number sort of 6, 7 now, when rather than top 5.
Yeah, I mean, man, you and that Intellivision cart, it's never going to leave you. I might. Do you know what?
I was going to say New Year's resolution. I won't mention it after the episode on the 18th in 2 weeks. I won't mention Intellivision 2 again. And if I do, I should have to give like a donation to charity or something.
We'll have like a swear box, but it's just like an Intellivision box.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, mate, there's going to come a time where it's going to become so syncopated with you as a person that when your time comes at the end, you'll be buried with your copy. That's how much you're going to end up. It's going to be attached to you.
That would be funny.
I thought I'd just go a bit dark there. Take it to a dark place very quickly. Let's bring it to a lighter place, and that is to talk about Duke Nukem Collection 2. So this is the collection that has Duke Nukem Time to Kill, Duke Nukem Land of the Babes, and the much anticipated Duke Nukem Advance. Certainly for me, that was very anticipated. So let's go round the other way. So let's start with Derek this time, because I know, again, this was another card that you kind of really, I was interested in it, but I think from speaking to you about it, you kind of got me really excited for this one. So how have you found the collection 2?
Yeah, again, collection 2 for me has been really, really solid. If, like myself, you've played those PlayStation originals recently, these, are not shabby. They're moving a lot better. And to be honest, I've had a lot more enjoyment. Also, it looks a lot better visually on my television, very noticeably. Don't forget, with all these games, there's lots of hidden stuff, and Duke Nukem Advance is no exception. There are hidden things on each stage, so do make sure you look for like even an air duct and kick it in and get inside and have a look. It's not just med packs we're looking for here. There's some good hidden stuff. So on all of these games, really do get hunting. Time to Kill was really impressive. As soon as I got on it, I just started to just fly through the game. I just literally, I took to the controls. I didn't even bother to look them up. And I just started going up the gears, and I was tearing through the game. I had to pull myself away at one point because I didn't want to complete it too quickly. But Time to Kill, just really fantastic. Again, Land of the Babes. It's a fun story. You're going to this planet. The babes have been invaded by these like lizard men, and you've basically got to try and take back control because their resistance is losing ground. It's a great game, and these lizard men move nice and quickly, so they're fun to shoot at. And again, as I say, the controls, I always set it with an automatic, so it just sights onto the enemy, so it saves any hassle. There's some great bits as well where you go through dark tunnels in it, and basically only your fire from your gun will light the tunnel, so you can't really tell if they're in there or not, and that's just fantastic. If you get a chance, obviously pop your earphones in for that, because you might pick up the odd sound when you're in these dark murky tunnels. And also the underwater swimming, is fantastic. There's also something you can pick up which enables you to stay underwater for longer. Again, I don't want to spoil it too much for people, but you know, if you are having a little bit of trouble with those water sections, do hunt around again. So yeah, fantastic. I'm having a lot of fun on this collection. Trouble is, I say too many games and you don't know what to play next. But yeah, this collection's got a lot to offer.
Amazing. It's one that I'm genuinely excited to devote some time to. 100%. Played Time to Kill a little bit back in the day. Land of the Babes is completely new for me, as is Duke Advance. So yeah, we'll get to what I think in a minute though. Ryan, should we bypass you, or is there something in this collection that you're excited for?
I've just got one question. I'm just looking at them on the Evercade cartridge details, and it's got the Duke Nukem Time to Kill and Land of the Babes are 2 players. How does that work? 2 players on those games?
Yeah, I mean, only one I played recently was Duke Nukem 0 Hour. That was 4-player split screen. So yeah, again, this would be split screen, but I haven't actually played it on the versus because I haven't had anybody around since they've arrived. But yeah, I would imagine it's split screen like that.
Oh, awesome!
Oh, maybe I'll bring it up Christmas time, Ryan, and we'll have a bash.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, I'll have it by then. I will have it by then. So
Yeah.
You can show off then. Anything on that collection that you're particularly excited to try? Is there stuff there that you've not played at all?
I haven't played any of these before, so looking forward to all of them. I just quite like the look of Time to Kill and Land of the Babes. They give me the Lara Croft, Tomb Raider vibes. I'm more of when I play a video game, I like to see the character rather than a first-person shooter. So I think they'll be more my cup of tea than the Game Boy Advance version. But yeah, I'll just look forward to playing them.
Excellent. Mr. Blunners, how have you found this collection?
Yeah, so to me, they're all new as well. Obviously, I vaguely remember them back on the PlayStation. At the time, I remember us saying I didn't realise that a Duke Nukem actually came out on the Game Boy Advance. So I was quite eager to see how that was. But yeah, Ryan literally just took exactly what I was about to say. It gave me Tomb Raider vibes. Even the way he jumps, and the bit where you got to jump up and try and climb on this bit, and he literally just jumps. You know, like when she used to jump like full arms up like that. Yeah, he does that. And so some things that was annoying me. I'm not an inverted shooter, so when you have to press to lock on to shoot, I'm pressing down and it's going up, and if I'm pressing up, it's going down. So that's just something I've got to go into the options and try and sort out. But when I've got them trying to shoot me, that was annoying me to begin with. But yeah, quickly went into the options, changed that around. But it is funny as well. Like Duke Nukem Land of the Babes. Like, oh yeah, I've just landed on this planet. Why didn't you call me earlier? He's like, there's like, oh, there's a whole planet full of women. Yeah, right. So yeah, that's quite funny. Duke Nukem Advance is just like your typical. It's just like your ones off your 3D one on the other cartridge. It reminded me a lot like that. Well, there's a lot of secrets to find as well. But yeah, I was saying it just gives me that old school, the tank controls as well. So you drop down, you turn slowly back and forth, just like you do in the Resident Evil games back on the PlayStation.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was the kind of vibes it gave me. I think ammo isn't as sparse though as it is in Resident Evil, so that's a good thing. So, and obviously you got to go around shooting them piggy police people. So I've quite enjoyed what I've played. I haven't played a lot of them, but I will save these and I will go back to them because I want to start on the other cartridge. But yeah, glad I picked it up. I only got it the other day because obviously I forgot to pre-order it and I thought I had. So yeah, really, really glad I picked it up while it was still around.
Yep, completely agree. It's one I've not put a huge amount of time into so far, if much time at all, unfortunately, just because Demons and Duke Nukem 3D have been taking up pretty much all of my Evercade time. I think what I'm going to do with this cart is I'm going to hold on until my EXP arrives, and I'm going to give just start at the top, work my way down, and these will probably be the first things I play on the EXP, so I can really sort of try and absorb that new screen and all that goodness that comes from that. Duke Nukem Time to Kill is probably the one that I remember the most of playing that when that came out as a kid. I just remember sort of seeing Duke Nukem in a third-person adventure and thinking, "Oh yeah, cool. This is where we're at now. This would be really cool." Because as everyone has said, Tomb Raider, Resident Evil, even things like Siphon Filter, it kind of has that little bit of a vibe to it. So yeah, really looking forward to just getting back into that game and sort of playing it through as an adult. I've never played Land of the Babes, but I mean, you had me at a planet filled with women. It sort of reminds me, in my mind, it reminds me of that episode of Futurama where they land on that planet, and yeah, so yeah, that's going to be good fun. I think it's going to be good fun. I'm probably most excited for Duke Nukem Advance because I'm just dead excited to see how this looks and how it plays, considering it's a Game Boy Advance game. So yeah, I'm dead excited because I keep getting little sort of things that make me want to start sort of playing and collecting Game Boy Advance games, and it's a rabbit hole. There are some systems that I've just said I'm not going to collect for, and I'm not going to pick up systems for because I didn't have the Game Boy Advance growing up. So yeah, so to be able to play things like that on an Evercade for me is great. But the little bits that I have played of Time to Kill and just a very quick just a look at Advance to see how it was, very, very impressed with how it looks, how they run. Yeah, again, I think Blaze have knocked this one out the park with this as well. It's two incredibly solid collections, each one really, really well looked after. It really feels like they've given this some love, some real attention. And yeah, it's a home run. I think that's easily the best way for me to describe that collection. Yes, Death by Snoo Snoo. That's possibly my favorite Futurama episode. Death, by Snoo Snoo. Yay! Never fails to make me chuckle. Any final
No idea
thoughts?
what you're going on about.
I'll have to link you the episode. It's very, very funny. Any final picks? Any final thoughts for the Duke Nukem collections before we move on to our next topic and potentially get to some of the questions that people have asked? And of course, the big thing that we're very excited to announce is the Christmas giveaway. So, are there any other final thoughts for the Duke collections?
Yeah, I'm just saying, like Derek said earlier, really get used to using them triggers for when you're in them first person, because like you're saying, it saves you having to try and turn. You'll instantly just move to the side, drop back in. So yeah, try and start using them. But yeah, that's what I was trying to get my brain to work out, rather than, because you're so used to just using one to just turn and one to go around. So yeah, try getting use out of them shoulder buttons.
A pro tip there from Blunners, so everyone get on your triggers. Mr. Retro Dean there, loving your Pac-Man jumper, Mr. Derek. It's a very wonderful festive jumper, that I have to say. Beautiful. There we go. Okay, so the next topic is the number of games per collection. So I believe a lot of people have been sort of chatting away online about that. They think that we're not necessarily getting value for money now. Is that where this topic's coming from?
Yeah, it was brought up in the last episode. Obsolete's World mentioned it in the chat, and then we said we would talk about it in this episode.
We did.
So yeah, I think where he's coming from is over the last 3 years of Evercade, the number of cartridges per collection appears to have gone down, and he wanted to know our thoughts on it.
Yep. Okay. Let's start with Mr. Blunners. What do you think about the sort of little bit of a decline in the number of games per collection?
Yeah, I do feel. I don't think they would have been able to get, like, looking at the Duke Nukem cart, for example. I don't feel they would have been able to get all of them on one cart, but there is people that I've seen in the Hangout that were saying that the Duke Nukem 1 and 2 like there shouldn't be like a massive file size. So I can see how, like, when you go back to that original, exactly like you were just about to say. I was just about to say about
Okay.
the original concept of Evercade was you were getting so many games per cart. So now you're mainly getting 3, sometimes 2. I can understand like your 2s, like your Xenoblade, like, do you know what I mean, like your high quality game in there. So I can understand them, but yeah, it's just like moving away from what the original plan was when they released the Evercade. Like, you think you're gonna get a cart, you'd have about 10 games. There's quite a lot to play through, but some of these games aren't as long, just a bit of filler sometimes. Whereas these Duke Nukem games, for example, I know that I'm gonna play each one and get quite a lot out of each one of these games. So it's one of them. It's quality, quantity. But yeah, I can understand exactly where people are coming from. But which one would you prefer? Would you prefer quality or quantity? So yeah, it's a hard one. It's a hard one to, like. I don't mind as long as it's like 3. If you're getting 3 or 2 games, if they're really high quality, like, do you know what I mean? Everyone knows Good Boy Galaxy's a good card as well, good game as well. So it's a hard one to.
Yeah, I mean, obviously in the chat there has just put up some statistics that we can look through. So 2020 we got 14 carts, 160 games, averaging 11 games per cart. 2021 13 carts, 106 games, averaging 8 games a cart. We then got 2022 was 11 carts, 89 games, averaging of 8. And then 23, 14 carts, 82 games, averaging 6 games per cart. Yeah, interesting. Ryan, what are your thoughts?
I've always found the number of games on cartridges odd at times anyway. It's just when I've just scrolled back down to when the original cartridges came out, and it's, for example, on Interplay Collection 2, you've got 6 games. I've never understood why 6. Why not just round it up to 10, for example? And then some of them you've got 9 games, and again it's like, why not just put another one on there to round it up to 10? Yes, it might not be a particularly great game, however, people, I'm sure, would be happy, even if it's a game that's not particularly brilliant, just to have something else to play.
Yeah.
So yeah, the numbers I've never quite understood why, and I guess at times they can't fit more games on because of the size of the memory chips in the cartridges. But then you've got Codemasters Collection 1's got 17 games on it, which again is a lot. And yeah, there's just no consistency with it. So I guess I guess Blaze are probably in a difficult place that they only get offered so many games by these publishers, so that's what they that's what they have to go with, or they get a choice of, I don't know, 20 games and they're only allowed to put 5 on a cartridge, or I really don't know how it works, and I'm just guessing, and maybe Derek might be able to shed not to throw him under the bus, but he might be able to shed a little bit more light on it. But I'm all for quality over quantity, like Blunners said, all day. I would rather have Xenocrisis and Tanglewood, for example, than 1,000 Intellivision games on a cartridge. So yeah, so it swings both ways. But as long as the games are good and they're of a really good standard, then the quantity shouldn't be an issue. But when, like with that Codemasters collection, you've got Sensible Soccer, Super Skid Marks and Cannon Fodder are probably the standout games on there, and the rest are not my cup of tea, if I'm honest. But why can't they have just put another 3 games on there, just round it up to 20? It's just odd that it's 17. But yeah, that's yeah. I guess the stats that Obsolete Worlds put up are quite telling, that the total number of games are going down, and maybe they now see it as an opportunity to bring out more carts and make more money, because that's what companies ultimately do. So
Mhm.
yes.
I'd be interested to know the stats versus like actual cartridge sales. So we may be getting less games but more quality, but are they actually shifting more units because of that, or were they shifting more when there were more games on them? Did people think, well, like you said, Ryan, you know, I'd rather it have a couple of little filler games just to round the numbers up, or are people kind of, you know, voting with their feet and kind of being like, no, we like the quality games, so we'll, you know, it's been sort of increasing sales. I don't know. It's an interesting topic. Very interested to hear what Derek thinks.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of this, as I say, when we look behind the stage door, comes down to costings. Things like the Duke Nukems, for instance, to do those remasters wasn't cheap. And therefore, to get your money back, it had to be split over 2 collections. As I say, a lot more went into it than people could possibly imagine, and how much Retroware would want for a license of Duke Nukem again is exponential to somebody like myself. But for Blaze to fork that out, it had to be costed over 2 cartridges. When you look at older consoles like the Intellivision, I mean, Intellivision currently are more than happy to license, for instance, a 3rd collection. They're cheaper to license, but always, like any console, there's certain ones which hold their value. And when obviously the 2 Intellivision collections were made on the 2nd collection, there's a couple there which are considerably more value than the rest of that collection, which pushed the price up. And obviously on the first one, you had that indie title. Whenever you involve any indie developer, you expect to give them a slightly bigger cut. And that's why on a lot of these collections now with Good Boy Galaxy, Witch and Whiz, etc., it's costing more to license those. So obviously you're getting less on the collection. Obviously, when you do go a little bit cheaper on the indie titles, say Indie Heroes collections, you can afford to give those people a little less slice of the cake, and therefore you can have more on there. But I think if you compared Indie Heroes Collection 3 to, say, Good Boy Galaxy, you can see where the content is best. As I say, that, of course, aside from Donut Dodo, my favorite. But yeah, I mean, a friend of mine, he was mad for Good Boy Galaxy. He got straight on there as soon as it was delivered. He's put 15 hours in, and I think he's only completed about 86% of it. So he's still got things to find. Wow. So there's lots of hours to put into a game like that for value for money. But yeah, I mean, things like the Interplay collections, if you remember the original 10 cartridges, Blaze approached Interplay and they told them what games they were prepared to license. Obviously, things like Earthworm Jim cost considerably more than the other games in those collections. So obviously that broke into 2 collections with no further Interplay ones to come. Again, it's not down to Blaze what they can license. It's down to the company of what they will license Blaze. And sometimes even the company comes back to Blaze with games that they don't actually own the license to. So Blaze have to do a lot of research beforehand to make sure that what they do license is what they actually own. So yeah, a lot of work does go into these collections. But yeah, I mean, older things like the Commodore 64, yeah, I don't see why you don't have 20 games on those collections happily, because they're small in file. And as I say, sometimes it takes a lot of games to get a lot of enjoyment, because obviously people like different things. So so yeah, things like that, yeah, I'm sure they could fit a few more on the collections. But yeah, in some instances, as I say, it does come down to costings, and yeah, it's just sort of being careful and making sure that yeah, everybody gets a fair slice of the cake.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point to raise, and I think everyone in the chat kind of agrees with that as a concept as well. The idea that, you know, the Duke licensing and also the remaster for 1 and 2, like you say, has it's cost money, and the best way to make your money back is spread it out, split these things up. So yeah, I think so Obsolete Worlds has put there yet no arguments from me that the Duke games are understandable. So yeah, I think everyone kind of appreciates that and fully expects that if we're going to get quality like that, yeah, rack it up. I think people are more than happy to split things out to make sure that we can have that quality. But he does then go on to say, but in television with the question marks, I think that just comes back to what you said there, Derek, about the the C64 collections and this kind of stuff. It could, you could pump it. You could pump it full of some other ones. There was a comment a little bit earlier. Where's it from? Here we go. So Retro Dean, I thought this was quite an interesting one. The more games they can fit into a cart, the better. Less but more quality is subjective. Not everyone likes the same games. It's a good point. Certainly for myself, I'm not big into my sports games. So when there's a collection that's got 90% of it is football games, and then the other 1% is something that I'm vaguely interested in. It's not an immediate go out and pick up for me. So yeah, that is a fair point. I can't really add more to the discussion that hasn't been said by you chaps really. So I'm not gonna cover old ground. I think it's an interesting discussion. And I don't think there is a right or a wrong answer really. I think as long as we do get a really good smattering of these excellent collections, then I'm more than happy to forgive some of the maybe slightly ones that I'm not as interested in. So yeah, I don't think there is a right or a wrong answer. Best carts of the year has to be Duke and Full Void. Full Void, it's one game. But yeah, I completely agree with you, Alex. It's worth every penny. It's such a good game. It's breathtakingly beautiful, and it looks great on the Evercade. So yeah, I think it does just come down to the quality of the game. How much the licenses cost, how much they've had to put into it. There's quite a lot of factors to take into account, isn't it? I think like you said there, Derek, there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes that we just don't get to see or hear about, because why would we?
Yeah, as I say, with Codemasters, for instance, at the time, that was all Blaze could license. They weren't doing the home computer collections at the time, so the only options they had from Codemasters at that time is what you've got on that collection. So obviously, bar any that didn't run correctly. Yeah, there's no reason in the future we couldn't see a second Codemasters collection of home computer titles, and that would be great. But yeah, at the time, unfortunately, that was all that was open to them. It was a bit like the Bitmap brothers as well. At the time, the Gods license was tied up with the remaster, and they couldn't license, for instance, Gods to it. And obviously, Magic Pockets was home computer at the time, so getting that onto there was a no-no as well. But obviously, they could revisit that now, and perhaps those might be options.
Yeah. Interesting. Maybe it's another topic that we will another topic that we'll revisit in the new year, because I have no doubt it's going to be something that will come up again as we sort of move into 2024, see the roadmap, see what carts are coming out next year, which collections are coming out next year, and which games are on said collections. So I don't think this is a topic or a discussion that will this is the last we've heard of it. So no, thank you for suggesting it, Obsolete. That was a really interesting discussion to have. And do you know what's really nice? And I'm just going to take this into a nice tangent before we move into the next bit. It's great to see everyone in the chat not ripping each other apart when they disagree with each other. It's just nice to see everyone kind of just having their 5 pence and sort of understanding where everyone says this. Like, isn't that nice? In the day and age where you can't say anything on the internet without somebody ripping your head off, it's nice to see everybody being respectful of each other's opinions. So yeah, well done everyone. You've all earned yourself a high five. I'm gonna give everyone a high five there. Right, do we want to announce the Christmas giveaway or get to the starred questions?
I think we should announce the giveaway, to be honest.
Okay.
Personally,
right. Let me take this ticker off. Let's make Ryan full screen.
Oh, don't make me full screen. Leave me as a little square. No one needs to be seeing me full screen this evening. Leave me as a little square.
Leave yours. All right.
We're like
Okay.
celebrity squares here. Do you remember that?
Celebrity Square. Yeah.
Nobody wants to be full screen. Let's just
Feel like
leave
in
me
television.
as the bottom
All right.
right hand corner. That's what I
Okay.
like.
So we'll let Ryan take over here. So everybody, hold on to your butts.
Yeah. So I can confirm that this isn't the prize. So you can relax. You will not be, if you enter, you will not be winning a television collection too. So yeah, count yourselves lucky if you don't already own that one. So yeah. Just before I show the prize, I just want to thank Sean and Blaze. He's arranged for these prizes to be sent. Super kind of him and everyone else at Blaze Entertainment. So yeah, thank you very much. They didn't need to do that. So yeah, without further ado, I will start with this. So we've got a Full Void badge here, and then we've got a collection of Full Void stickers around that way and there. So I don't think these are available with the cartridge. I don't recall them being in there. So
Tell you what, I'll have a quick look, but I think you're right. I don't think they are.
Oh, there's another Full Void sticker that I forgot.
Well,
So
they
we got
are,
this.
but they're very, very small.
Oh, so these are big stickers. So we've got some big stickers. We've also got, this is brilliant, a Evercade
Yay.
travel mug.
Yes.
So I don't even.
That says to me that they do watch the show, because we've mentioned that travel mug quite a few times.
We have, and I don't think this is available anymore. So this is a super rare item. And look, the lid. I'll
Nick
just
Craddock
demonstrate
likes
it.
one
The
of
lid
them, doesn't he?
comes off. Yeah,
Oh,
Nick Craddock
sweet.
loves it. So yeah, we've got an Evercade mug. We've also got a copy
Hold fire.
of
Oh yes. Yeah, go
Good
for
Boy
it.
Galaxy.
Yes.
Which
Yes.
Awesome.
Look at that.
Sealed.
That is one of the newest carts as well. So that is really fantastic of them to give to us to give away.
Yeah, amazing. So we've got that, and then we've also got a copy of Demons Ambassador.
Oh,
Ah!
bring
So-
out the ransom.
That
Job.
cart has made its way up into my top 5, I think, of all the Evercade ones. So if you don't have that cart already, this is definitely one you're going to want to enter for sure.
Yeah, so I was super excited. So I thought that was it, and then at the bottom of the box we have
Yay.
Evercade.
Yeah. Crazy burger, turn away.
So I don't think they're available either. So
Look at that. There we go, Mr. Dean.
Let it be a
Please let it
stream
be a
wipe.
stream wipe. It's in there.
Yeah,
There.
let me
It
just
is
show it
in there.
again. Let's show it again. There it is. So we've got screen wipe, we've got a badge, we've got a collection of Full Void stickers,
Lovely.
we've got a coffee mug, and we've got the 2 brand new cartridges as well to give away. So yeah,
Absolutely solid. That's insane.
That's in
yeah,
the
super
next episode.
happy and really kind of Blaze, as I say, to
That's a
send
cool
us
giveaway.
that. Yeah,
Mm.
so
Thank you both.
yeah, it is a great giveaway, and we will be doing a live draw on the Christmas special in 2 weeks.
Yeah. 2 weeks time.
Oh.
So do we want to tell people how they can enter and how they can win?
Well, they'll need to be in the chat, won't they? And they'll need to comment as well on the evening. And then you'll also need to be a member of the Evercade Hangout, because you'll need to just drop me a DM with your details. So we're going to box this up as a complete prize and get it sent out to you. Unfortunately, I think we're going to have to do this as a UK only competition, and I am really sorry for people who watch in Europe and in America. But we promise we will do a giveaway in the new year, which will be worldwide, and we can get that shipped directly from a store near you or from Amazon direct. So don't be. I know it's disappointing, but just with custom charges and everything else, it'll just become a bit of a nightmare. Especially now we're out of the EU, it just complicates everything. But yeah, as I say, we will promise in the new year we will do another competition and we will get something sent out to you. You can let us know what you want from said store, and we can arrange for that, definitely.
Beautiful. Yeah, what a prize. I'm dead happy with that. It's never in my dreams did I think they'd actually send us some carts when they said, oh, we heard you're going to do a giveaway, we'd like to send some stuff. You're like, yeah, dead cool. I'm dead happy with that. I hope everyone's excited because that's a pretty cool prize. It's going to be a great way to send off the year. We've been doing this for 21 episodes, so the 22nd episode, last Total Evercade podcast of the year. Yeah. Oh yes. Yes, Mr. Rob Taylor does have a code as well that can be given away. I think that was a Steam code, wasn't it? Which is again very generous from Mr. Rob. So we might do that as a separate one. So we'll have the Evercade one, and then someone else can win a Steam code as well. So yeah, very generous of you, Rob. Thank you so much for that.
I think I've got some Retro Gaming Revival badges as well, so I'll bundle that in as well.
Yeah,
and I've got some
definitely got a few here.
posters. Yeah, I can throw those in as well. And it's a really good prize. So I'm sure on the night we'll just get Derek to ask an Evercade related question. Put your answer in the chat. I'm sure once someone gets it right, you can all copy, and then we'll do one of those little spinny wheel things and get it sent out to you the next day. So you should get it before Christmas.
Yeah.
So how
Beautiful.
cool are you going to be walking into Cafe Nero Starbucks with this bad boy? They wouldn't have seen one of these before.
You could maybe use the screen there. You could fold it up as like a pocket square and have that just in the top. Like, yeah, I'm into that.
You could do, couldn't you? Yeah, it's a pocket hanky. Yeah, I like it.
Mr. Davidson, I think you just join. I think you just search Evercade Hangout on Facebook and click the join button.
Links in the description to the video as well, as is the link to Sir Top and Hat's Twitter channel as well, and to Crazy Burger's YouTube, because he's done our intro video and cool new thumbnail as well.
Beautiful stuff. Okie dokie. So let's dive into some of the questions we've got here just to round us off. Yes, everyone wants that screen cloth. I know we've joked about it for weeks, and now you could finally have that there. There it is again. Look at that. Look at that. I think people are more excited about that than they are about the carts. I mean, that's Blaze. You're going to have to try and make some versions of these. People are up for this. Okay, let's jump in. So first question is from Kieran Fletcher. So apart from Indy 3, what carts do you think will be released next year? Ooh. I'll throw that out to the floor rather than go round the table in case people have some ideas. We can get the Tease Me Derek short ready just in case that eyebrow raises. But does anyone have any thoughts on what they think as a genuine cart will come out next year?
I think we covered this last time. I'm sure we did, and I think I said like another Mega Cats collection. Was my thinking.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we did cover it all.
Yeah. I don't know. Another Jalico, maybe. I could be down with that.
I was hoping we see something from Capcom.
Yeah, there's some good Capcom games. Some very lesser known games as well.
Let's put Jalico 2 with some Game Boy stuff on it. We haven't seen much Game Boy stuff, have we?
Yeah, that would be a good shout. Who?
22.
Yeah, that would be cool.
That'd be brilliant.
Yeah. Who does? It's a fighting game. It's not Final Fight. It's got fight in the title. I can't think of it off the top of my head. Final Vendetta. Yeah, I've got it on PS5, but I'd probably get it on Evercade as well. It's great.
Lots of games have fight in the title. That it could be
Fight
Night Round 2 on PlayStation or something.
King of Fighters.
King of Fighters.
I'd like a King of Fighters collection. Is that Capcom? I can't remember.
No, isn't that like SNK or something?
Yeah, it's SNK.
Yes.
That is. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, maybe not.
I'm amazed I knew the answer to that because I don't know very much, and I just pulled that
Smashed
out
it,
nowhere.
Ryan. Smashed it.
No, that's me done now. Don't ask me any more questions.
Okay, so let's get rid of that there. Okay, so Mr. Obsolete Worlds, can we talk about how Amazon has again taken more pre-orders than it can deliver. What have they taken more pre-orders for this time? Has it happened again? Has it genuinely happened again?
I know that the Dukes that were ordered for me for Christmas turned up
Yeah.
on time, and when I've looked on Amazon, because I've looked at picking up Good Boy Galaxy and Demons of Asterborg, they seem regularly available on Amazon. So I don't know what.
Okay.
Well, unless it's I believe Obsolete Worlds might be somewhere in Europe, so maybe it's a European Amazon
Possibly.
issue.
They're out of stock
specific.
of.
Oh, okay. Frustrating. I'm pretty sure that some of the people that they actually cancelled their full voids some people actually ended up getting it sent anyway. I'm sure someone chucked
I think they did.
they chucked a photo of it in the Hangout, didn't they? They went, "Oh, Amazon, you've cancelled my delivery," and then just sent it to me. So they effectively got a free copy, which is great for them. But yeah, there's just no rhyme or reason to that. Okay, yeah. Well, hopefully that sort of slows down a bit, because it seems eventually people will just stop going there for Evercade stuff eventually. Okay, another question here. We have one from Mr. Andy Davidson. Question to the panel: any other DOS games you'd like to see?
Ooh.
Sensible World of Soccer.
Haven't we already got that?
We've got Sensible Soccer.
Sensible Soccer.
It's a Mega Drive version, and it's not the best version. Sensible World of Soccer is the ultimate version of Sensible Soccer, because you can do manager mode. You've got thousands of clubs on there. It's just a complete version of, in my opinion, of Sensible Soccer. So that would be great if we could get that.
Doom. It's Doom DOS game.
I think it counts as DOS, doesn't it? It came out around that era.
Yeah. If you can get that, Lemmings is another one.
Yeah, Lemmings would be kind of cute. I would be down with Lemmings. Yeah. Derek, you've normally got quite a love for DOS. Is there anything you'd like to see come?
I'd love to see a remaster by Blaze of Commander Keen.
Okay.
If you've never seen it, if you played the Duke Nukem remasters, it's very, very similar in that 2D style, and you jump around, collect bottles, and the levels are very sort of similarly laid out. He was a great little character. In fact, his actual name isn't Commander Keen. It is actually Billy Blaze. So, yeah, an interesting fact there for you guys. So, yeah, I would love to see a remaster with obviously the availability to hit that select button and see the original DOS screen. So, yeah, for me, that would be a massive plus. And I think at the moment they are licensing out. They're open to licensing. So I think Blaze should jump in there and see if they can get that original and make it happen, because they were cracking games back then. So yeah, I think Blaze needs to do a little approach there, and I think they'll find them very, very open.
Interesting. For me, I don't know. Is the original Grand Theft Auto, did that run on DOS or was that on Windows? I can't remember now.
It did run on DOS, because I looked for an answer. I cheated slightly. When I saw that question was starred, I Googled DOS games. Because I never had a PC, and then I saw Sensible World of Soccer was listed. But yeah, Grand Theft Auto was a DOS run game, the original one.
So I would quite like to see that. Maybe you could do that GTA 2 and GTA London as like a little package. I'd be quite up for that, because I don't think you can get the original Grand Theft Auto games elsewhere. So I don't think, but then it's Rockstar, isn't it?
I think they're available on the Switch, but I don't know how much of that is download when you buy it. So yeah, it'd be nice to have a physical version.
That would be cool. I'd be dead up for that. Okay, a question from Nick for Derek. So a question for Derek. Now we have Duke. Any chance we may see Doom Collection? A lot of people want to see Doom.
Yeah, a lot of people want to see Doom. Yeah, it's a bit of a grey area. I don't think it's impossible. I don't know it's right now, but yeah, I think it does take that extra little bit of research first. You definitely don't want to stray into any grey areas. But yeah, never say never. As I say, a lot of people didn't think we'd see Duke Nukem. So yeah, anything can happen.
Yep. So watch this space. I know a lot of people would like to see Doom, so let's just watch this space. In the meantime, enjoy the Dukes and everything else that we've got available to us right now. One from one of our favorite regulars, Mr. Skipkins, with new systems apparently coming to Evercade in 2024. What systems that are not currently on Evercade would you like to see? Ooh, what systems? I mean, people keep saying Game Boy, so I would quite like to see some older Game Boy games, purely because Game Boy is so expensive to collect for now. That would be very cool. Game Boy Advance would be great. As I said earlier, it's a system that I'm resisting doing any sort of collection for, because it's crazy the amount of money that sort of stuff commands. So yeah, some more handheld systems. I'd be really up for that.
Atari Jaguar would be nice, just because nothing ever seems to have Jaguar games on. I imagine it's really difficult to run, so it's not going to happen.
Mm.
But it would be nice to get a Atari Jaguar collection just for something different.
Yep.
But I guess because the Atari licenses are expiring as well, that's probably very unlikely.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, is there an Intellivision like 2 or something? Not the one that's being talked about in the last few years, but if there is, then just stay away from that.
Man, Engage.
Yeah, there was actually an Intellivision 2. Only 12 games were developed. It was never released. So actually, it would be a bit of a crowning jewel to secure that one, because no one will have experienced those games. So yeah, it could be an interesting find there for Blaze.
Yeah, could be
Interesting.
I think Ollie said or Blunners said a good one. Engage.
Engage.
Yeah, Mr. Liam.
Yeah,
Hello,
right.
Mr. Liam. I'm glad you're there. Yeah, Engage in Tate mode. That would be kind of cool. Again, the Engage, it's such a quirky system. Is that expensive to collect for? Because I still can't believe it's an actual system. It's just a weird moment in history.
Yeah, I used to have them back in the day.
Yeah.
Loved them.
Excellent. Neo Geo, yeah, that would be cool.
Philips CDI would be bizarre, wouldn't it?
CDI,
That would be. We get plumbers. Is it plumbers don't wear
Plumbers
ties?
wear ties.
Yeah.
Philips CDI. Okay.
A dwarf's favourite.
That could be a single cartridge collection. And I
Yep.
think
Yeah,
Game Gear as well.
I think the ColecoVision was a great call by somebody there. Again, totally possible, and yeah, a license could be worked out pretty easily, and there are a reasonable selection there that Blaze could get. Also, somebody mentioned the Spectrum. Again, I don't think we'd see an actual Spectrum collection, but I think individual Spectrum games, perhaps added to a Home Computer Heroes Collection 2, for instance, completely possible. And yeah, I would definitely look to that. So, but yeah, at the moment, actual Spectrum collection would be a no-no. But yeah, I think individual titles. Yeah, completely possible. As for Neo Geo, Blaze hasn't currently approached them in any way, shape, or form. It's not to say they won't, but they just haven't currently.
Okay. Yeah, like this comment from Obsley here. Game Gear really is the obvious one. It feels like it would be an obvious entry point into Sega now that it's no longer on any virtual console service. Yeah, that's a really good point. That would be cool. And there's a lot of great Game Gear games as well. Again, I never had one as a kid, but all my friends that had them, hours of fun with the Game Gear. So that would be very, very cool. Okay, the last two questions from Mr. Andy Davidson. So first one, will Evercade introduce analog sticks? I mean, I don't see why they couldn't. It's certainly for something like the VS. It's just a USB port, so there's no reason why they couldn't do if that's the sort of way forward it went.
Well, arcade sticks work on the VS, don't they? So I can't see why an analog stick wouldn't work.
Yeah, I'd be into that. Be going full PS1 controller then. Okay, and then the last question from Mr. Davidson. There will be new hardware next year. It's inevitable. What are the panel's predictions? Are we going to see hardware next year? Is it a dead cert?
Super Pockets, of course. Yeah.
Definitely Super Pockets.
I don't think outside of that we will. I don't know why. I mean, I'm always happy to be proven wrong. And if I had to pick, for them to release a new piece of hardware.
Yeah, but would they like? Didn't they
don't
do
know.
the original? Then they done the VS. Then they upgraded the original. Are they now going to upgrade the VS? I mean,
It would be
I don't-
hard to. I don't know how much more they could
know.
upgrade the VS.
no, I don't know.
Well, obviously they can upgrade it, but it would
Also-
potentially be upgrading it to make games not work on the VS, or like
Yeah.
the original VS.
Yeah,
I could see
you could
sorry,
do
Derek.
with the only option you could do with the Versus, of course, is give it a bigger internal memory and allow people to perhaps download the Taito or Capcom games to make them multiplayer. Perhaps by obviously buying that console, it would be locked to either Taito or Capcom. But otherwise, yeah, I mean, there wouldn't really be a lot at this stage without excluding handheld owners. You could do.
I'll tell you what would be cool, and this is me just thinking, and if Blaze want to take me up on this and, include me in some sort of design here, I'm all into this. With the original system, the original VS having like a Mega CD type attachment where you could just clonk it on the bottom, connect the two, and eventually they could release either things like do you remember like those Sega flash cards or like the TurboGrafx things, have some of the games on that, or if they wanted to eventually get into the realms of CD stuff and sort of enter into the PlayStation era on disc, that kind of thing. Like, there we are. I'm just throwing that idea out there into the ether. A little addition that you'd put on the bottom, connect the two up. And...
Evercade Mega CD.
Yeah.
Power.
Yeah.
Now you're playing with Intellivision 2 Power.
Yeah.
So that's the only thing I could think of that they could do to, I don't know, make it retro like you used to have, like the Sega 32X and all that sort of stuff. It's mainly Sega, wasn't it? Brought out weird attachments for their thing. Yeah, exactly. Like the Polymega idea. I mean, I know there's a laughy face after that because the Polymega is very expensive. But a little, 60 quid add-on to your VS to, I don't know, play certain games in different format. I don't know. I don't think there will be new hardware next year outside of what we've said, but that's my 5 pence. If I had to have something, that's what I would like. Excellent. Right. Well, we are hitting that just over 1 hour, 15-minute mark. Episode 21 has come to a close. EXP magnifiers. Do we need magnifiers? Oh, the Super Pockets might need magnifiers. Not so sure about
like
the
the
EXP.
old Game Boy ones with the lights.
With the light, yeah. No backlight, no problem. Was that even the tagline for it? It might have been. Thank you very much, Nick. Appreciate that. So there we go. Episode 21 in the bag. Our next episode will be 2 weeks from today, the 18th of December, if I'm not mistaken. You definitely don't want to miss that episode. We're going to be talking the other carts that have been released. So obviously we're going to be talking about Demons of Asterberg. I'd imagine we're also going to touch on Good Boy Galaxy. We are going to be, of course, going through that fantastic giveaway that Ryan showed everybody earlier. I know we've said it a lot tonight, but it's probably worth saying just one more time because we'll say it a lot next week as well. Thank you very much to Blaze and Sean for getting in touch and donating all of that wonderful stuff to give to one of you lucky people. Thank you so much for everyone joining live in the chat. It's been a very busy chat tonight. So just thank you everyone for giving up your evenings and joining us live. It's greatly appreciated. We greatly appreciate you all. Do go and head over to the Evercade Hangout on Facebook. Go join. There's lots of great discussions going on in there. We can continue all the conversations that we have here over there. Please do, if you don't already, head on over to X or Twitter. I can never remember what they call it now, so I'll just call it both. And make sure you give Derek a follow if you're not already. Derek is always your first port of call for any new updates and any new Evercade news. He's your man. So make sure you're sticking in touch with him there. If you have somehow found us through the YouTube multiverse, please do consider hitting that subscribe button to us because that helps us out an absolute ton. And don't forget to give that thumbs up button a little cheeky click as well, because then that just lets us know that you've been here and you've seen this. But yeah, do subscribe to the channel, because we've got lots of other content coming out constantly, and it'd be great for you to keep up with it all. So yeah, I guess that all that is left to say after that ramble is just thank you everyone for joining. Gentlemen, it's always a pleasure, never a chore, and we will see everyone in 2 weeks' time. So good evening and see you then.